What up, my beautiful people? Today is Monday, June the 29th. I wanted to hop on and do a full moon tarot before I go do some full moon shit. Definitely stay protected and prayed up out there because shit's wicked. But they ain't got much longer. I can tell you that. They ain't got much longer. But the Ascended Masters wanted to come through for the collective. So this is just a general collective read. Come through the Most High, Mother and Father, High Spotlight, Spirit Guides, Angels, Ancestors that have my best interest and the collective's best interest at heart here. Please provide clear and concise messages for us at this time. Come through, my Ascended Masters. What type of messages do we have for the collective for this beautiful strawberry moon in Capricorn? Hopefully some good stability shit for us, huh? Alright, come through, Ascended Masters. What type of messages you have for us? Pan-fertility, bruh. I feel that too. So, with this full moon in Capricorn, it also... Capricorn is like right across from Cancer, like they're whatever you call that. And so to me that basically means that like whatever we're pouring our hearts into, you know, the emotions and stuff that we're pouring into our work is actually going to start coming to light and start being grounded and stable, which is what we're wanting. What else you got for us, Ascended Masters? What other messages do you have for us on this full moon, my Ascended Masters? Nurture yourself. Mary Magdalene. And also on the bottom of this, purification. So, yeah. Definitely put yourself first. Put that self-care into yourself. Definitely cleanse. I've already had my spiritual bath. Yeah, definitely. There is some really heavy shit going on etherically. We all know that. But definitely, this energy here is definitely about pouring into what you love. Putting yourself first when doing that. Because as I always say, if you don't put yourself first and love yourself, how the hell are you ever going to radiate anything good out into this universe? What else you got for us, Ascended Masters? What other messages? Or who are we working with? Thank you. What am I saying? Follow your heart, St. Francis. I'm pretty tapped in as it turns out, but the power of joy. Maitreya. That's actually who trained Yeshua, in case you didn't know. That's who I've been working with hardcore on this healing journey. I've worked with all of them. We all do, but... Also, 919-144-114, 555 may be prevalent. You may be seeing those numbers for sure. But this is totally about tapping into ourselves, because that is the power of joy. That's why these jobs, like, that's why everything is falling, just off subject, because I always go off subject, but that's why everything's falling to shit. When you go to a mechanic, you can't get your vehicle fixed right. Why? Because nobody wants to fucking be there. You know, they're doing the job because they need money, or their dad wanted them to fucking be a mechanic like them, whatever. That's why everything's falling to shit. Nobody is doing what they love anymore. And you sure ain't going to be loving it in that fucking Matrix. I can tell you that right now. So, I'm going to take some Enchanted Forest Oracle. I cannot wait to get more decks. I've got probably 6 to 8 decks, so I'm getting my other decks soon. Come through, my Enchanted Forest Fae. Can you clarify this fertility for the collective, Pan? What are we working on growing here? What are we working on planting and growing here under this full moon? Really, full moon's about release, but when you release the old, you make way for the new. So, on the bottom, Herbal Witch. So, again, definitely make sure that you're staying protected up. What do you got for me fertility-wise? Come through, Faye. What do you have for me fertility-wise? What's coming through fertility for the collective, Pan? Alright. It's literally what I was just, pretty much talking about. Let go. This says tranquil stream. That does specify to let go of worries. And basically like pour into yourself. But if you'll see that water is always abundance, you know what I mean? And to me, like the fertility, that is definitely overflow with those waterfalls there. It's fucking beautiful. A tranquil stream. When you're at peace and you're doing what you love, it does just flow to you. Abundance flows to you. And on the bottom we have the fox. Embrace the necessity to adapt and thrive through challenge. So, with the fox too, though, they do adapt, but there's also a cunning side as well. So I always feel that, again, it goes back to making sure you're cleansed and protected during this time as well. But it's so crazy because whenever I pulled in here, there was a deer. Like literally the deer across the road, I let it go. And then it stood back here as I was getting my stuff out of the truck. So, Guardians of the Forest. All right, Mary Magdalene, what do you have for nurture yourself? What do the Fae have for nurture yourself? Thank you, thank you. This right here says, Druids Grove, strive for balance and harmony in all aspects of your life. And let me show you. When you love yourself, again, when you're pouring into yourself, that does create balance and harmony. So therefore, you radiate that out into this universe. And if you'll notice, like there's darkness, but there's light that's radiating as well. What do you have for follow your heart, St. Francis? Please and thank you. Thank you, thank you. The bridge. This says, believe in the infinite possibilities of the universe. So, with that, it's hard because I've been in that situation. Like, you know that job no longer serves you anymore, but what the hell do you do? How do you break out of it? Let me tell you something. When I did, I'll eventually tell my story because I look back on it and honestly, I'm not going to lie, like it's inspirational even to myself. I was just fucking done with everything and there was hella magic being sent to me anyways. But it was like, in the morning I threw every bit of my shit that I wanted in the back of my truck, loaded my dogs up. This rap song I had never even heard of, named Tampa, came on. And I said, I'm going to fucking Tampa. That's where I went. And I stayed for about 4 or 5 months, bro. And did I have everything figured out? Hell no. I had about $3,000. But it has worked out. Has it been easy? Fuck no. Been a lot of hard times. Sleeping in tents, finally got me a camper, things like that. But I'll be damned if I was going to go back to what I knew and kill myself even more. So I hope that that's a piece of advice for somebody because you really do have to believe and trust in the universe when you're following your heart. because that's really not what we're taught anymore, especially people of my age, of the indigo children and before, like, we're sold the American nightmare, and that's kind of what we fell into. And we're the ones having to break free from that so we can help the youth not have to fall in that. And this is pretty cool too. Under Maitreya, the power of joy. There's like the gathering, the community. And what's interesting about this card is, like, you'll see this person back here. And those people are like cheering them on, ready for them to come out. And it's kind of like, if you follow all this, what you're thinking on, what you want to plant, and you know that that's within you, like that's your soul's calling, that's your passion, and you're following your heart to do it, that does equal the power of joy. And when you are doing what you love, you are radiating love and light into the universe. And that's what we got to do. That's all the Most High wants us to do. It's not about how much you have or what you're paying or none of that. And I'm about to show all that. Spirit said break every constraint, and I have. My credit looks like shit. My bills look like shit. They no longer have control over me. And there's a reason for it. Alright, Most High, let's come through and tap in here on the tarot. Now, what advice do you have for the collective in the fertility in this tranquil stream of letting go of worries and find tranquility? What advice do you have there? Please and thank you, Most High Mother and Father of the highest by thy. Oh my gosh. So the Queen of Pentacles fell right on that tranquil stream. With the Queen of Pentacles, this is someone who is, like, you can't knock them off of their throne. They're in their life's purpose. They're creating and doing what they love, and you cannot knock them off of it. People are going to try. They damn sure are going to try. But you think that son of a bitch can come up towards a queen? Hell no. Fuck them. Lord child, bear with me. What else do you have for me going with this fertility and Queen of Pentacles? Damn, son. 9 of Cups, that's your wish fulfillment. It's what I've been saying. Follow your heart. It's what the Ascended Masters want people to know. Do what you love. Plant those seeds. You have to nurture those seeds. Nurture yourself. Nurture those seeds. Follow your heart. And that is where the joy comes in at. And that 9 of Cups fell right on that tranquil stream, which is abundance. So, Spirit is telling you, if you follow your heart and plant those seeds, whatever you've been thinking about, do it. Just fucking do it. Take the leap and do it. Don't let anything hold you back. It don't matter. These credit scores, these bills, none of this shit's gonna matter. Can you imagine what would happen if we just all said, fuck it, I'm not gonna pay my electric bill, I'm not gonna pay my water bill, and I'm not gonna pay my credit card bill. Oh, they'd come cut it off. No, they won't, because they ain't got nobody to work for them if you step away and quit paying for the shit. I digressed. What advice do you have, Spirit, for nurture yourself? Mary Magdalene, come through, girl. How you strive for balance and harmony, baby. She says you already said it. You go within. You go within. See, you have to silence the outside. You have to cut that bullshit off of the TV and get away. Because all it is a stage. And it's all to keep you trapped in here and not working from here. As above, so below. What does that mean? Well, if I think I ain't shit,